Kged. Now, here is John Meccico.
All right, guys, welcome to Talk Radio 1680 KGED. And we are at the big Fresno Fair and just enjoying this, man. I gotta be honest with you. I'm really enjoying this. It's my first time here in 10 years, and I'm really just kind of like, wow. Just so you guys know, I'm reading this here now. For those of you in the Fresno area, Twitter, Instagram followers will get into the fair free from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you have about 2 more hours to get in for free. Plus, all carnival rides are $2. Including, I guess, Kittyland and some other stuff. So I think I think you guys need to get here. By the way, for those of you who can see me on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, I think you can see that right there. That is a caramel apple. It's a green apple. I'm going to put this down with caramel, and then they put birthday cake icing on it, the buttercream type stuff, and then they put these sprinkles on it. And we had to break this out a little bit. If you can see that, we had to break this out a little bit on the Jarris Jackson show at the end of his show. And I just thought I'd let you guys see it, man. I had one slice of it, and it was outstanding. I'm really not going to be able to eat any of it during the show because my teeth are going to get stuck with the caramel. I'm not going to be able to talk. So, but just so you guys know, it's there and it is fantastic. And that is actually from the candy shop and more. It says for the kid in you. So if you got a little kid in you and you like little cotton or apple filled with caramel and birthday cake stuff and all these other flavors that they have, I would get in here and get it. All right, guys, let's get to the news. Let us get to it. I hate to say it, but I told you. You remember me saying, watch out how the media is going to start coming after Attorney General Barr. This was so predictable. It was so predictable. Why? Why is it so predictable? Because it's the Democrats' playbook all the time. It never changes. What was the playbook here? That we need to get ahead of the game. We know what's coming down the pike with Attorney General Barr. Let's get ahead of this. Let's try to discredit him so when he just gives us that beatdown that we're going to get, we can maybe talk a little bit bad about him. That's what this is about. All this media attention now on Attorney General Barr. What a joke. The media, as well as the Democrats, they know what's coming down the pike, and it's coming soon. They can hear the train pulling in the tracks, man. I'm telling you, they can hear it, and they can feel it. They need to get ahead of the story because they know the beatdown that they're about to receive. And the more that they can try to convince you that Barr is as shady as they are, the more that you may not feel so bad for them, or you may not take what he's about to expose as seriously as it should be taken. So that's the game. That's the playbook. Now, first they try to discredit Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani was hysterical last night. So they're trying to discredit him, and there's Rudy Giuliani, and he's showing you on live TV. He's got these transcripts as he's showing people these transcripts of the info that he has. Rudy's not backing down. Rudy's like, you want some of this? Come get it, because he's ready to go to war. Rudy is ready, man, and they're trying to discredit him, and he's showing these transcripts discrediting them. It's hysterical. The last thing that they want is to put Giuliani in front of the House. But they just may have backed themselves into having to do that. I think they've backed themselves in a corner. They've talked so much of a game, it's hard for them to back down from it. If Rudy Giuliani gets in front of the House, it's going to be must-see TV. It is going to be hysterical. He's going to beat them down so bad. All right. The Dems are upset. This is the part that gets me. The Dems are so upset that President Trump suggested that the president of Ukraine get in touch with Bill Barr to discuss an investigation into Joe and Hunter Biden. Do they not understand that if there's some kind of criminality going on with an American citizen in a foreign country, then it's his job to have it investigated? The Dems keep referring to Joe Biden as a political opponent of Donald Trump. And therefore, this is personal. Just because he may be a political opponent, he is still an American citizen. As an American citizen, if he did something criminal like, I don't know, possibly use American taxpayer money to bribe another country to assure that his son walks away with an $83,000 a month paycheck for something his son knows nothing about, maybe that's it. It doesn't matter what it is. If it doesn't matter that he's a political opponent, he's an American citizen first, and it deserves to be investigated. Don't let them throw you off with that. It's his political opponent, and he shouldn't be doing this. This has nothing to do with Joe Biden being a political opponent. Nothing. He's an American citizen first. And for them to be running this scheme, acting like, this is personal. No, if you did something shady and criminal-like in a foreign country, you get investigated like I would get investigated, like you would get investigated, like anybody else would get investigated. They need to stop with the nonsense. It's embarrassing that they even talk about it like that. Now, you would think that if Biden was as innocent as he says he is, he would want this investigation. It would clear his name. It would be a huge lift to his poll numbers, which are starting to sink like he's wearing cement shoes and being thrown overboard off a boat. It would maybe give him a fighting chance against the Teflon Don if he was to become the Democratic nominee, which he probably, I've been saying this since the beginning. I don't know if he's even going to last through it, but it would give him a fighting chance. He should want this to be done. He should be saying, please investigate this. The minute they try to accuse Trump of something, he's like, here's the transcripts. Go for it. I'm innocent. Do what you got to do. When Mueller was doing his thing, Mueller said, I absolutely wasn't impeded one bit. They got like over 1 million pages of documents. Trump, he just have it. I'm innocent. Do whatever you got to do. Not the same on the other side, people. Not the same on the other side. If Biden was smart, he'd be as helpful as he can in this investigation to clear his name. If he really thinks he's innocent, to be better off in the polls. He would have a fighting chance. The way he's doing it now, he's got no fighting chance. The more the media tries to cover for him, the worse it looks for him. I'm talking about Biden. The more that they try to cover for Joe Biden, the absolute worse it looks for him. As for Hunter Biden, you don't have to worry about covering for him. No one can find him. It's like he's in the witness protection program already. Like he hasn't even been arrested yet, and it's like he's in the witness protection program. He's in hiding. Nobody knows where the guy is. You can't make this stuff up. You truly cannot make this stuff up. U.S. Attorney of Utah, Brett Tolman, said, make no mistake, Attorney General Barr is doing what he is authorized and has the mandate to do, and that is to investigate, to prosecute, and to expose corruption. That's what this is about. That is what this is about. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. If the FISA court was utilized to secure warrants and to be able to go in and spy on American citizens or influence the election in any way, Attorney General Barr is the only one who has the authority to investigate it. Tolman, of course, was referring to misconduct allegations related to the FISA court, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act court. It doesn't get any more simple than that, people. It just doesn't get any more simple than that. I don't know why, the Pelosi's and the Schiffs are like, this is a political opponent and this is personal. He's an American citizen first. You have the man on tape. Quid pro quo Joe. I mean, my gosh, you have him on tape doing this. The shame is that this wasn't investigated sooner. This should have been investigated sooner. We've all known the story for a while. Does anybody besides me think it's kind of funny that Joe Biden is Barack Obama's point man on both Ukraine and China, and both things went very shady? Both things have criminal intent? Both things involve Hunter Biden? I mean, Barack Obama to Biden, you are my point guy for these two countries. And my gosh, what is going on? It's absolutely insane. We have so much more on this story when we get back from the break, so please stay tuned. We're at the Fresno Fair. Join us. It's free till 6 o'clock, guys, so get in here. Oh, man, I can't even eat the apple with the caramel and the birthday cake icing. Oh. All right, guys. See you after the break. Oh, really? Does it look all right? Oh, no, that's all right. I mean, yeah, cool. Yeah, I had to throw my pen to get your attention because I'm like, I'm not hearing myself.
Yeah, I was hearing it too, so I increased the volume.
Okay, am I stuck on something? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I didn't know if this showed on TV. That's why I was kind of like, here. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. You want more of that? Here. Huh? I can't eat it because my teeth are going to get stuck to the caramel. I'm not going to be able to talk. Yeah, nice. Yes. You think that's funny? You think that's funny that I can't eat this, right? All right.
Back to the John Meccico Show on the Valley's new talk leader, Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
All right, guys, welcome back to Talk Radio 1680 KGED. John Meccico spending the hour with you at the big Fresno Fair. I said it last segment. I will say it again. If you get in before 6 o'clock, apparently it is free, and every ride is just $2. Ride all day, valid for all carnival rides in Kittyland and Make Carnival area. So kids, school is finished, and get your parents to get over here. Although I'm not sure how many kids are listening to political talk radio, but you never know. So good stuff. There's some other things going on I'll talk about in the last segment, but pretty interesting. Very interesting. And I didn't know this. In 1884, the first Fresno Fair opened on October 7th, and it included a 5-day race horse meet. All right. No, there you go. A lot of livestock stuff here, I'm sure. All right, guys. So we, and by the way, for those of you looking on the camera, we got Jairus Jackson behind me and talking to all kinds of people, getting them to spin wheels and win gifts and very cool stuff. All right. So we're talking about this whole media just eruption about getting an Attorney General Bill Barr. We knew it was going to happen, folks. We kept saying it was going to happen. They have to get ahead of the story. The media and the Dems both have to. They're in cahoots. They're shoulder to shoulder on this, guys. They have to get together on this, because when his when Durham and Horowitz and Barr, when their reports come down, it's going to blast all of them, the media included. They're in trouble. They can hear the train pulling in the station. I'm telling you. And for them to get on an Attorney General Barr when he has the authority, he's able to mandate and to investigate and to prosecute and to expose, and that's what he does. That's his title. And they're running scared, man. They are running scared. And if you missed the first segment, the point I was trying to make is stop listening to their line of that Joe Biden is a political opponent and therefore that this is illegal. No, Joe Biden first and foremost is an American citizen, and if an American citizen does or is suspected of any kind of criminal activity in a foreign country, then it needs to be investigated. He's an American citizen first, politician next. There is nothing that Trump or Barr or Giuliani or anybody else is doing wrong. You can try to use semantics, Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, you can use all the semantics you want to change the wording and make it sound like this is so bad. It's not. You should be lawyers. You guys should know this by now. And how stupid do you think the public is? Just terrible on your part. Oh, and then another thing that made me laugh today. Then there was former Attorney General Eric Holder. Do you guys remember him? The self-described Barack Obama wingman. His wingman. That was his boy. That was his guy right there. All right. He goes on to say, the whole thing that the Attorney General, meaning General Barr, is involved in is highly unusual. Maybe unusual for him because they ran a corrupt administration. But to the rest of us, it's not unusual at all. I don't know what Eric Holder's talking about. He says, ordering an investigation of our intelligence and law enforcement agencies when there was already an investigation underway by the Inspector General. I think the Attorney General needs to be a little more sensitive to the appearance that he gives. No, he doesn't. He ain't worried about your feelings, your sensitivity. Do what's right. Do by what the law says. Well, what is he? No wonder Eric Holder was just a terrible Attorney General. If this is the way he ran his business, oh my gosh, stop it. Be sensitive. Be sensitive to what? This criminality that was going on? You have to not only be substantively neutral, listen to this. This is Eric Holder. You got to be neutral. You have to appear to be neutral when you are the Attorney General of the United States. And I fear that he has crossed a political line. How could this possibly come out of the mouth of a guy who proclaimed to be the wingman of Barack Obama? That's my best friend. That's my buddy right there. No neutrality between Eric Holder and Barack Obama. None. And he's talking about that Attorney General Bill Barr has got to appear neutral. Eric Holder couldn't spell neutral if I gave him the N and the E and the U. I mean, he couldn't spell it. What the heck is he talking about? Absolutely, positively nuts. This is hysterical. This is absolutely hysterical coming out of his mouth. All right. So the New York Times reported that Trump had privately pressed Australia's leader to help Barr in Durham's investigation. However, a letter obtained by Fox News showed that Australia had reached out to Trump back in May to offer, not feel pressured. They offered assistance after Trump publicly told reporters he would direct Barr to contact a variety of countries as part of the probe. Trump didn't press anybody. Matter of fact, it's really not Trump's style to press anybody. Will he suggest it? Yeah, because there's a lot of power in suggestion, because it allows somebody to think about something, to kind of marinate on it a little bit, and then if they decide to go forward with it, they own it. He didn't press anybody. He did not do any quid pro quo. That's just not even Trump's style. Matter of fact, most successful business people, it definitely isn't their style. They'll give you the option, they'll give you the opportunity, but if you don't want to do it, they'll find somebody else to do it. It's not his style to press anybody. I mean, quid pro quo is exactly what Biden did on tape. I have no idea what this guy's talking about. None. Trump didn't press anybody, and that's why the New York Times has lost so much credibility, for continuously getting the facts wrong. It's amazing how they just want to destroy their own paper. It makes you speechless, honest to God. There was a senior Australian diplomat, and after the president said what he said, we initiated the contact, right? There was no pressure. We acted in order to help. This was the Australian diplomat, okay? After the president said what he said, we, meaning the Australians, initiated the contact. There wasn't any pressure. We acted in order to help. We were just trying to be helpful to the president of the United States. How does the New York Times do this and continue to be a paper? They're just a gossip rag at this point. I mean, honestly, that's what they are. I'm and I'm a New Yorker. It hurts me to say it, but it's just brutal. It says here we are also having to hear. Oh, yeah, Nancy Pelosi. We're also having to hear House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying Barr has gone rogue. Barr has gone rogue. Barr is the most. Man, I'm going to tell you right now. If you're in a political fight, I want Barr and Pompeo having my back. I don't need a Pelosi and Schiff. Think about this. Who would you rather have? She's saying Barr has gone rogue, and the mainstream media is buying into it. I think Morning Joe was talking about that. They've gone rogue. What? Oh my! He's lost his mind. Because there's not a speck of real journalism by any of them anymore. If going rogue means doing your job, then yes, he's gone rogue. Hey Nancy, why don't you go rogue? Do your job. Just do a job instead of this impeachment garbage. You've gone rogue, Nancy. If you, oh my gosh, that's what they do. I'm going to accuse them for what I'm doing. We'll sell them on that. We'll take all the heat off us. It's mind-boggling. All right, so speaking of doing their job, the Dems have only to look in the mirror for the problems that they've created for themselves, man. I want you to think about this. If Bob Mueller was doing his job, he would have looked into the Clinton scandal once he realized after 1 month that there was no case against Trump. That would have been doing his job. But he chose to go another 645 days after that first month, because it was a total of 675. He chose to go another 635 days with this circus. And that's what it is. It's a circus. Now, this is the thing. If he would have done his job, he would have looked into Clinton's scandal. The move, and that would have been the move. The move would have been, as shady as this sounds, if I was a Democrat and I was trying to cover up, as shady as this sounds, this would have been the move. To have investigated Clinton under Mueller's watch, to have investigated Biden under Mueller's watch, and to have investigated Obama under Mueller's watch. Then I would have lied to protect their innocence, and I would have cleared them of all wrongdoing. If I was shady like them, that would have been the thing to do. That would have been the plan. See, that's what you could have said. That's what you could have done. Therefore, if you nothing to hide. You're the ones with something to hide. You're like rats just hiding. It's just absolutely nuts. All right, guys, listen, we are going to take a break. and dude, I'm looking at the clock here. So, Woody, I'm off the air right now? Oh, man, how long ago was that? Oh, my God. I've been talking this whole time? 5 minutes. Do you know how much stuff I covered in 5 minutes? Oh, my gosh. Are we going to be? I'm just looking. I'm just looking at my phone. Okay, so wait a second. Wait a second. How much time are we going to be going at here? I guess at 12. All right. All right. I wish I knew where I left off. That's so funny. Oh, Woody, that's so funny. He says I've been off. He says I've been off for 5 minutes. I'm just rattling and rattling and rattling.
That's better.
It's all Facebook too, man.
Figure this out. Yeah, it's on Facebook.
No, my thing was on Facebook.
Oh
then?
no, it would have been off.
That would have been off, right?
This thing needs to. The thing needs to go.
Did the show go on Facebook Live? Woody? No, but Facebook is on. All right. Oh my gosh. This is great.
The Valley's new talk leader, Talk Radio 1680 KGED. Here again is John Meccico.
All right, guys, welcome back to Talk Radio 1680 KGED. And I understand we had some transmission problems. Either, I don't know if that was with just Facebook or the radio, or I'm not sure what it was, but we are back, and I think we have it all figured out. We're at the big Fresno Fair, and listen, get here before 6 o'clock, and I think the entrance is free, so good stuff there. And for the, I don't even know where to start because we were off air for a little bit. All right, let's just go to a news story. All right, so today is October 3rd, and that apparently is it's Bring Your Bible to School Day. So I wanted to talk about this because of, all the climate change stuff that we had a couple weeks ago, and I'm very curious to see what goes on. So around 2 weeks ago, and I want to say it was September 20th, school districts around the country allowed grade school and high school kids to stage a walkout to show support for climate crisis. And we had to witness some 16-year-old from Sweden give this Academy Award-winning, "You have stolen my dreams," and the speech that she did, or just dramatizing it more in the tears and the anguish on her face. And oh my gosh, man, your heart just kind of went out to her, but I mean, it really was award-winning actress stuff. I think she has a future in that. There's no doubt about it. So now again, today, October 3rd, we get to see how the national media and school districts around the country respond to kids showing support for a different cause. This time, they won't be leaving school and getting one less day of an education, like our kids can afford that, especially in Seattle after the story we broke yesterday. They won't be crying in the media about how their lives are already ruined. They won't be blaming President Trump about their gloom future, although carbon emissions in this country have gone down 14% since the turn of the century. So, they won't be doing any of that. This show of support is going to be about why they have hope, why things can be better. They won't blame anyone for anything. They'll give thanks for the things that they do have. How nice of a change is that going to be? So today is Bring Your Bible to School Day. And hundreds of thousands of students would have been participating. I'm going to say school's probably out now for most of these kids, but they would have been participating in it. How much media attention do you think that this is going to get? 1%? 2%? Do you think it'll come anywhere near the walkout that these high school and grade school kids had with the climate crisis? I doubt it. We've already had stories of kids getting in trouble for handing out flyers about bringing your Bible to school day here in California. So the story behind this is that it started in 2014 with only 8,000 kids participating at that time. Now here we are, 6 years later, 5 years later, there's over 500,000 kids participating. And to me, that's a pretty cool story. But God forbid we give any attention to this. Heaven help us if it initiates conversation among students about God and the Bible. We can't have that. Oh, no. The teachers are going to lose their everlasting minds. Teachers, can you put up with it for what? Now, I'm not talking to all teachers, of course, but the ones, you know who I'm talking about. Can you just deal with it for one day? Can you let them just have one day? I'll be very curious if there's any reports about teachers protesting and having a walkout because their kids brought their Bibles to school. Just look at how the media treated Drew Brees. For those of you who aren't sports fans, Drew Brees is he's a future Hall of Fame quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. By all accounts, this guy is a stand-up guy. You never hear anything bad about him. You don't hear him getting in trouble. There's nothing shady about him. He's a good family man. He does some great things for the city of New Orleans and many different charities that he's involved with. Drew Brees put out a 20-second video, maybe it was a month ago, encouraging kids to live out your faith and know you're not alone on the Bring Your Bible to School day. The media tried to crush him. They tried to make him retract what he said. Last I heard, he didn't do it. He did no such thing. And I wouldn't expect him to. He's when he's in it, he's in it. If anything, he probably got more fans because of it. If there were probably people that weren't New Orleans Saint fans, probably New Orleans Saint fans now. See, the way the media treats it. See the way that our media treats Vice President Pence and his wife. She was attacked for teaching art at a Christian school. I mean, is there any sanity to this at all? There's none. How dare she? She taught art to a Christian school. She should be just whipped. I mean, the ridiculousness. I mean, does that really sound criminal at all? But she was just castigated through the media. The media makes themselves look so silly when they do something like this. And for all the protests about Chick-fil-A, that's my favorite, man. Anytime I see a Chick-fil-A, even if I'm full, I got to get me some nuggets just to support them. All the protests about Chick-fil-A and banning them at airports because of their religious beliefs. Really? You protesters have boosted them to the number 3 fast food chain in the country. And they don't even gain any revenue on Sundays. They're closed. Nice job. Way to go, protesters. Keep it up. Thumbs up, guys. You're doing good. It sounds to me like Bring Your Bible to School Day is needed now more than we've ever had need for it before. These people who oppose this clearly don't even know how to act anymore. No one should have to hide their faith. If someone can't handle that you believe in God, they're the ones with the problem, not you. Not you. Don't back down, man. Look, I'm not saying you have to push your faith on anybody or be obnoxious, but I don't think most people do that. But to hide your faith, to not be able to say that you're a Christian, or to not be able to say that you don't believe in God, really? What have they done to you? How is that person hurting you? They're not hurting you. It's just like Trump. You got Trump derangement syndrome. Maybe you got God derangement syndrome. I have no idea. But kids, don't be afraid. And I love the message that Drew Brees said. You're not alone. You're definitely not alone in this, all right? It's absolutely absurd, man. For someone to have to be able to be afraid to go to school to demonstrate something is, on a take your Bible to school day is ridiculous. I'd rather see kids walking into school than walking out. I'd rather hear about these kids hoping a better world than the doom and gloom that we had to hear about in late September. Again, I'd rather see the kids walk into school to demonstrate something than walk out of school to demonstrate something. I mean, doesn't that make more sense? Let's walk into school. Let's not lose our education at the same time. Share something that's good. Let's not just get everybody in a frenzy. And most of these grade school and high school kids don't even understand climate change, except what the teacher feeds. Some teachers feed them. It's absurd. I'm thankful for these kids. And I'll tell you why. I'm thankful for them because it gives me a little hope. Because, man, sometimes when I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, our future is doomed. But when kids like this that stand up for something like this, it gives me a little hope. So, to all of you out there, thank you. Thank you for not being afraid of carrying a Bible to school. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Folks, I can tell you after spending the last 4 years volunteering at the Fresno Mission, that book, the Bible, it changes lives for the positive. You go to for you people that are local, man, you go to the Fresno Rescue Mission. I guess now they're calling it the Fresno Mission. The transformations that I have seen have been remarkable. You listen to their testimony sometime. I'm telling you, it will open your eyes. And that happened one way. So, again, you guys with the, go to school with your Bible day, man, good on you. I'm happy to see that. By the way, it just so happens that also on October 3rd in 1789, President Washington, he declared this: whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly to implore His protection and favor. Maybe our schools should start teaching that kind of history once again. Maybe just for one day. Let's just teach that kind of history again. Don't get rid of all the history. That's some good stuff right there. Our founding fathers, man, they depended a ton on the Bible and what the Bible was trying to demonstrate. And, so I would love to see that. I can't wait to see how much media covered that. I doubt that hardly any media did. If they did, I'd be surprised by that. And again, for you guys out there, for kids out there even, man, volunteer at places like a rescue mission, man. Volunteer at some local charities. It's amazing the benefits that you'll find. And, I'll tell you the other thing that I find just amazing with the work that I do there. Some of these guys are just so talented. They made a bad choice. They got into something they shouldn't have got involved in. Whatever the case may be, the talent and the thoughts and the stories that they will tell you, their testimony, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. If you guys are looking for something to do to give back, man, go into places like that. I'm telling you, and kids, you want to learn from people that have had experiences and some things, they will change your world, man. They just their outlook on life and what they used to think, what they think now. There's nothing wrong with doing something like that. I would encourage any kid to do that. Absolutely. So, and there's plenty of places here in California to do it. I'm just talking about Fresno, and there's a ton of places here in Fresno, but I'm sure in LA and San Francisco, and I'm sure in bigger cities. I know in Phoenix, they have that kind of thing. I know in New York they have that kind of thing. I'm sure in Chicago they have that kind of thing. Man, get involved like that. I mean, you will be shocked, and you will find out some talents about yourself that you never knew. So that's my talk to you. Guys, we're at the Fresno Fair. Got Jarris Jackson behind me, and I'm going to bring him in after the break because he didn't want to eat the candy apple. Or I guess that's what I should call it, apple can. Yeah, I'm staring at it right now. Guys, it looks so good, man. Can you see that? I mean, Woody, back at the station, you're missing out. I wish I could give you this, but I can't. But just the food's incredible. The smells are incredible. The Cinnabon's incredible. The people have been very nice. We've had a lot of people come to our booth and just shake hands. We would love to, do some. Just shake hands and meet the people that are out there. That we've had a couple ladies that came in earlier, said, hey, we listen to you guys all the time, which really kind of made us happy. Get a little selfies in there, do that kind of thing. But yeah, and we have some drawings. We have some political candidate cutouts, and it's funny to see the ones that they want to take pictures of. Trump kind of dominates it, believe it or not. That's the guy that they all want to take a picture of. We have some Democratic candidate cutout boards here too. Just we don't want anybody abusing them. We don't want anybody, throwing stuff at them. So please don't do that. But it's kind of funny that Trump's the guy though. They all want to get behind him, or they all want to get next to him. They want to give the thumbs up that you see Trump do all the time, and it's kind of cute just to see what they do. I think even Jarris and I took a picture with Trump, the Trump cutout board. So we had a lot of fun with that. And I think you heard on Jarris' show the Republican booth versus the Democrat booth. It's actually quite surprising how one is kind of busy, one not so busy. And so the Republicans are getting a lot of play here. So pretty happy about that. Again, as I said, the Fresno Fair is free till 6 o'clock. So guys, bring your kids in here. Rides are only $2. And It's good stuff. All right, when we get back, I'm either going to have Jairus here for a few minutes, or we're going to talk about another country that has actually talking about needing border checks and that they're having a problem with their borders. Let me see. There's so many other things to really talk about. All right, guys. You listen to Talk Radio 1680 KGED. And again, broadcasting from the Fresno Fair. We will be back after the break. You want to get on some of this?
Yeah, yesterday I went. Yesterday I went.
Oh, no wonder he was saying that he was on for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. Sit here or?
Yeah.
It's Murphy's Law. It's the rule of radio. Am I right about that, boys?
Whatever could go wrong will go wrong in radio? Probably so.
Whatever can go wrong, will go wrong.
That is the.
On Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
There you go.
Hold this 1 second.
Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
Actually, you know what? We're supposed to talk about the fair the last.
10, yeah.
Yeah, so I better
Probably should have
just.
saved. I thought that's what you were going to do.
Yeah, I am, but I was gonna. I got all these stories I could have still talked about. I didn't want to break up the one story I was doing for another, but I'll save it. See if there's another time. All right. So,
How long are your segments?
how long is what?
How long are your segments?
This one's gonna be 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Probably because of Monday Night Football. Or Thursday Night Football. Today.
Oh, you didn't explain it?
Huh? Oh yeah.
Should probably mention that too.
Oh yeah.
Hey, get those people. See if they want to do. Hey, look. Like, why'd I listen to you?
Rams and Seahawks.
Hey, so the secret is you gotta watch the Republican booth. If they like, well, if it's been like all the kids who walk by and mumble under their breath, F that shit, they're probably not gonna be the best people. But if like they're taking pictures of the Trump stuff and everything, heck yeah. Are we on Facebook? Because what we should point out to everyone, I'm not hearing anything. But to the Facebook people, Bernie's currently on a hot streak with our straw poll. We'll mention it when we're on the air. I got a little theory going in my head.
Women, what?
I got a little theory going in my head that we got to mention about our straw poll. When we
Okay.
come back. Good. Thank you, Jay. Yeah. So.
So apparently 5 minutes of my first or second segment, we went off the air and I didn't even know it. I was just talking to him for 5 minutes.
But where'd we go?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I was like, and I had some good stuff going on, man. I was like, oh.
Oh, that's your best stuff.
It's always my best stuff.
It always is. But everybody's watching and it counts.
So how does it look like with it being broadcast live up there?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Back to John Meccico on Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Talk Radio 1680 KGD, and then we are at the big Fresno Fair. Got Jairus Jackson sitting in with me on this last segment. By the way, we are going to our radio station going to Thursday Night Football tonight.
Well, listen, so here's the thing. Yet again, John, thanks for having me on, by the way, buddy. We know nothing about sports. We being Guillermo and myself.
Meaning you. I'm going to tell you.
So Guillermo knows now. What is Guillermo? We are both. We're not sports people. Now, if it's tennis,
Yeah, he knows something about
He
that.
could have went pro. I mean, tennis could have paid for his fake law degree. I don't know why he didn't do that.
You're so wrong.
So, but when it comes to football, we're not experts. I will admit I'm worse off than him, but none of us are geniuses.
No, but I will say
you are the sports analyst at the station. So handicap tonight's Thursday night football game.
Tonight's a good game. You've got the LA Rams and you got the Seattle Seahawks, and they're playing at Seattle. Seattle's a small favorite, and I like Seattle. I think they got an underrated team this year. So
they got decent uniforms.
Yeah, good uniforms too.
Their math
is a problem.
God, I sound like a wife. I sound like a girl. I really like the uniforms. Jesus, you should have backhanded me right there.
So hopefully the players are past their mathematics in Seattle.
Uh-huh.
You know, they're not that story that we broke yesterday. All right, guys, we're at the Fresno Fair. I've been telling you guys that if you get here before 6, it's free. Rides are $2.
Fans outside.
Yeah, we got fans. Yeah, I don't know if they're fans. They may not like us. Who knows? But hopefully they do. And so check this out. This is very, very cool. Have you ever seen Cirque du Soleil?
No.
Okay, now I've seen many Cirque du Soleils living in Vegas. I don't know if this.
Vegas?
Yeah, for 5 years. So
talk about a good time.
So apparently there is a nerveless Knox thrill show, Pirates of the Sky Caribbean. So apparently this is a kind of a family thrill show, and the pirates defy gravity 15 feet in the air, revolving head over heels, and doing Cirque du Soleil stuff maybe. I don't know. It sounds very acrobatic, dressed up in pirate uniforms, and I think I'd like to see that.
I think I would too. Sounds like a great time.
In the Paul Theater today, Creedence Clearwater Revisited.
Yeah, I've never heard of them, but I heard that I'm not really in the rock circuit, but I hear in the rock girl. They're pretty big.
Back in the 60s, they were huge.
Huge, all right.
So I'm not sure, though, if this is actually them or is this...
No, that's them.
Is it really?
Yeah, no tributes here, my friend.
Okay,
that's them.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very cool. And I said earlier that in 1884, the first Fresno Fair opened on October 7th.
Look at that.
Yeah, man, so this is pretty darn old. And they had a 5-day horse meet. They still do the races here.
Call this Fresno Fair Betty White because it's old as hell, but it's still beautiful. Call it Betty White. That's what this big Fresno Fair is.
That's funny, man. Man. Weigh-in college beef. They got sheep, goats, swine. They got all kinds of stuff going on.
Mutton busting. There's a sport that if I had to pick a sport to become an expert in, I'd look into mutton busting because that looks fun. Those kids look like they're always having a great time when they're out there mutton busting.
What is it? I don't even know.
It's like the 5 to 9-year-olds or 5 to 10-year-olds.
What are they doing?
And they basically ride lamb. Not lamb. No. What is it?
Llamas?
No. Goats. There we go. Goats.
They ride goats?
Yeah. So they basically put the kids on like long ways, hot dog ways on the goats, and they hang on. It's a safe version of bull riding, but obviously we can't be putting 5-year-olds on. Yeah, with goats. And they have to stay on for like 8 seconds. It's really the same rules as bull riding, just for 8-year-olds, and instead of bulls, they're goats.
Have you seen some of these 8-year-olds? There's some big 8-year-olds out there, man. This could be not good for the goat.
Michelle Obama did not get this country in shape like she said she was.
I always say, for all the work that she did, try to get people in shape. President Trump got more people in shape in 2 days with all the protesting that went on than Michelle Obama did in 8 years.
Yet again, Donald Trump, not only is he delivering on conservative issues, he's even picking up liberal slack on their
he does
issues.
it all.
Yeah,
he does it all. I mean, but you have to admit, all the protests going on, he's looking at
weight.
Look at them people losing some weight.
I mean, Michael Moore is still a very swell 455, but Rosie O'Donnell has lost weight. I hear she's the skinniest she's been since she was born. She's only 318 right now. Skinniest she's ever been in her life. Only 318, John. Seriously.
That I thought was the line of the debates in 2016 when they said, you call women this, and this, and Trump said,
only Rosie O'Donnell.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
With the hand, just like that. She's huge. She's huge. Hey, man, so what's going on out there? You got people?
We're getting people to sign up. Again, we are here in the Commerce Building. Talk Radio 1680 Kged. Basically, what happens is when you walk in, you'll walk past the Democrat booth, but we're not being salty because you come to our booth, then you literally just pivot a little bit. Yeah, it was a sports term. Pivot. Yeah. And you got the Republican booth directly across from us.
Look how many people are there right now.
Yeah.
1, 2,
And
3,
I gotta go do
4,
a check after your
5,
show of
6.
what's popping
That's
off at
awesome.
the Democrat booth.
That's awesome.
Again, maybe we're doing a continuation of the AARP convention.
Probably
I don't know.
have the 3 same people sitting there, probably just as bored as all get out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe it's because Trump is in there. Maybe it's like you talked about today, the Trump derangement syndrome. These people, they just don't look happy.
Do you know what's going to
They
happen?
just don't. And it's not necessarily like, hey, I'm coming up to you and I'm talking about Trump. Just them living their lives, they just don't seem happy. And I can honestly attest that even on Barack Hussein, even on Barry, the Messiah's worst day, I found other ways, mostly non-political ways, to still be happy.
Yeah.
They've got the guy living in Washington, D.C.
They're scared.
On the other side of the country is bumming out the person who's sitting at the booth a few feet away from us.
They are scared.
They've got no life.
They know what's coming.
They've got no life.
I'm telling you, they know what's coming.
And that's coming from someone that likes to never leave the house and hates people. They've got no life. Let me tell you. They got no life.
So my bet is that what that booth is going to start doing is they're going to hire people to just stand around and look like it's busy. They're just going to be workers.
Somebody called BET. Let's get some black people down here and mix in some Mexicans. And I guess we can have 2 white people, but they got to be white, transgender, non-conforming, questioning people. Don't bring us 2 straight white males because we might have to take them out. That's probably what the Democrat booth will say. Most likely. Anyway, most likely.
Man. No, but I mean, this is. Oh, listen, I've had this for an hour. You made me buy this. And
hold on.
I am not. Listen,
I am not Barack Hussein Obama, and this is not Obamacare. I did not force you to buy anything.
I am looking at this.
No, okay, but you have free will. I didn't implement. I'm not Obama.
For 2 days, you've been badgering me about food. I had to buy this.
Okay, but I did not force.
Don't take any. No, force
I did not force you to buy
suggested.
it. Okay.
Strongly suggested.
What's wrong with the strong suggestion?
No, listen.
Better than a weak suggestion.
I'm going to eat it.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's too good.
All right.
I just got to get it.
It's delicious.
Oh, man.
Like in the candy store, what does it, feed the child inside you or something like that?
Yeah, what was that again?
The candy shop.
Yeah, it was the candy
Here
shop
in the Commerce
for
building.
the kid in you.
And what's funny is for everyone that thinks, because when we used to have fair trips to the fair back when I was in school,
yeah.
Well, no, not me, because there was a Republican booth, so I'd go over there and have a great time. But a lot of kids, they'd get really bored. Like, we don't want to go to the Commerce building. There's nothing fun there.
Right.
The best food is here, and the lines are shorter. The line at this Cinnamon Roll Shack, way shorter than the other one.
All right, guys. You got Thursday Night Football on 1680 KGED coming up next.
I think we did it pretty good.
I check with Woody if we're out. I think we are.
And we got no funeral around.
He likes to show up, like, really well. He likes to make you a little bit nervous.
I chastise him about that all the time.
Yeah.